One of the greatest miracles is not a one-time event, but an ongoing reality that all of us Catholics are currently taking part of. And I'm referring to the miracle of the existence of the church. It's like the existence of the church is a miracle in itself. So Christ's body. Because from its very beginning, right up until the present day, the church has survived some pretty insurmountable odds. So think, for example, of the first few bloody years of the church, the persecutions that went on Christians during the time of the Roman Empire. If there's any image that would likely turn people away from the church, or if there's any image that would cause people to think twice about becoming Christian, then how about this for an image? An image of a child dressed up as a sheep and thrown to the lions. Because that's went on during the Roman Empire. But the church miraculously survived that horrible time in history. Or think of the various dictators and regimes throughout all of history who've made it their life's mission to take out the church. And yet the church continues to stumble on. And this is not to boast about any human accomplishments of any individuals in the church, because the fact is all the members of the church at one time or another have proven themselves to be pretty weak. But it's really just a nod to the words of the angel Gabriel in today's gospel. When he's speaking to Mary, he says about her son Jesus that, quote, his kingdom will have no end. His kingdom will have no end. And Mary was challenged to believe those words, and I imagine she was most challenged to believe those words when she saw her son Jesus hanging on a cross with a sign above him basically saying that this so-called king and his so-called kingdom are on the verge of passing out of existence. But guess what? That's exactly what didn't happen. So today we might be tempted to have similar discouraging thoughts about the church, especially in a time when there's so much confusion and it seems to be the norm, and when secular forces are doing their best to make the church and faith and God irrelevant or non-essential. But it's in these very situations where it's a good idea to keep in mind the words of the angel Gabriel to Mary. His kingdom will have no end. So the invitation for us is to do just that, to reflect on the reality and trustworthiness of those words as we prepare for the birth of Jesus the King, whose kingdom shall have no end.